Yo, what it do, everybody? It's your boy No Name. Let's get right into it. So, this weekend, Homeboy sent me a Reddit post to look over, and it got us thinking a little bit. Like, you see the title, you know that I'm here to talk about casual players. I want you to know that this is a real discussion about casuals, and there is no answer here. If you're expecting to scrub through this video and hear me say the exact definition of a casual player, you're not going to get that here. That's not what this video is about, because I don't know. I don't know. And that was kind of the thing, is that we talked about it like amongst us, the five of us, and the call when this post got sent to me. And we realized none of us have a clean definition of a casual. And more importantly, our definitions differed from one another. So here's the post, right? It's a casual player gameplay cycle. Start off with a meta build, make some money, try to play something off meta, but it sucks. So you go back to a meta build. Then you get a lot more money. You're like, you know what? Surely I can make the off meta build work this time. And then it sucks again, and you quit, and you wait for the next league, right? Some people don't get to that second roundabout, but the idea is generally play something meta, make money, try to play something off meta, it sucks. What do, right? That general cycle is a casual player cycle, or to some definition, right? And now, the question I want you to think about is, what is your idea of a casual player cycle? And as you're thinking about that, I want to take a moment to remind you, if you like these type of videos, you like this type of content, liking the video tells me that y'all like it, so I know to continue doing it, right? Or, as a better option, right? If you want to see more of what we do, including the other things that I attempt to do on this channel, subscribing lets you know what's going on here. Now, back to this post for a second, because if you were reading the full cycle on the screen as I was talking about it, you probably caught something that was off about it. Week 4 to 5, 200 div. Ooh, wee. Is that a real number for a casual, y'all? When we saw it, we all kind of said, like, nah, that's kind of crazy. On first evaluation, anyways. And there's a comment on this thread that says, you know, that the idea of casual is a weird concept, or that casuals don't make that much money in a whole league. And it made me think a little bit. One, because I don't think people know how to track money correctly, and that probably isn't a true statement, because, you know, what actually defines a casual, right? But two, more importantly, I don't believe casuals are real in online conversations. I don't. I think the word casual gets warped and distorted to fit the agenda that people want to fill with the word, because there's such a stigma against being labeled as a try-hard or sweaty player in these things. When the reality is that, like, I don't know, being a try-hard is how you get good at these things. And I'm going to repeat that thought before we get into everything else that I want to talk about here. I think the term casual gets manipulated aggressively online. I do not think that people use the term genuinely or earnestly when talking about people who are in that position. And it's not to say that you yourself, you the listener, have a completely misconstrued definition of casual. I'm saying that most definitions of casual that I've seen, especially in my years in the PoE community and other competitive gaming communities over the past like 10, 15 years, has been twisted to fit some sort of agenda or intent by the author or the user. And so for me, when I hear the word casual, I check out, because I don't trust the term to be accurately used. Let's talk about accurate use for a second. What in the hell is a casual? So Merriam-Webster just defines a casual as a number of things, right? It could casual as an adjective refers to things that happen by chance or happen occasionally. Things that happen without concern, could be nonchalant in nature, could be informal or naturally occurring, such as a conversation, could be without commitment, such as sex, casual sex. Just saying, they should really add ranked sex. I feel like that would be a great addition. Y'all let me know if I'm crazy on that. I feel like it'd be great. Or without devotion / committed interest, as it refers to like studies, for example. And you'll notice how widespread the term in its ability to be used is. And so when we try to buckle this word into one clean definition, it gets hard. And I think it gets even more difficult when you talk about something as multifaceted as Path of Exile, right? This game, y'all, is complicated. That's why we play it, right? At least to my knowledge, that's why I play it. It's one of the number one things I hear all the time about the game. People are selling it to other people. If that's not why you play it, let me know. But what I know is this game is complicated and it's wicked, and you get to do cool shit because the game is just kind of no holds barred. Do what you want to do, right? Like, that's why people play this game. Now, that said, though, I think it's possible to be casual in parts of this game, right? Here's a breakdown of the game, just generally speaking, right? The leveling section of the game is distinct from the early mapping progression section of the game, distinct from the end game mapping progression of the game, distinct from playing in trade, distinct from playing in SSF, distinct from, crafting items, distinct from creating builds, right? All of these different subsets are skills that I have named. And there's a number of others, right? We haven't even gotten to like raw bossing mechanical skill, for example, right? These are all subsets of the game. And I think it's very possible and very plausible, actually, that the definition of casual struggles so much because people are specialized in parts of the game, right? Here's an example. Might absolutely despise leveling and you never feel like you ever want to bother learning how to get better at it. So it might actually take you 2 play sessions to just get to maps. But then in maps, you really thrive and flourish, and this is your shit. So you just shoot through map progression like crazy, right? Maybe just because it's in trading, you know how to make that early bit of money to get your character off the ground and get to rolling, right? You get to rolling, and now you're back to farming money, and you're playing the game. You're playing hours and hours per day, making tons of currency, and then you decide you want to roll a build, and it doesn't work, right? What that story tells me is that that person just might not be so strong in other builds. Their study of builds or build creation is lacking. Not even bad, just lacking, right? Not at whatever they want it to be for what it is that they want to do, especially if that's a regular occurrence, right? That's one example. Or you could, for example, Mathel's a great example of somebody who embodies aspects of a casual player, I feel like. I would never claim Mathel to be a casual player, but we all have to admit that his desire to play things that are cool very much reminds us of what a casual player should be like, which is somebody who just looks at things and goes, that shit's awesome. I want to play that, right? That's an aspect of being a casual. There's all sorts of aspects of being a casual. There are people who only really interact with trade insofar as to make their lives easier and go, I really don't want to think about the nonsense that comes with trading. I just also really want to try Ravenous Passion out, and trying to run Ubers myself is a pain in the ass, right? So we can think about it that way. Like, that's another aspect, because maybe they just don't want to be bothered learning how to do Uber bosses, bro. Does that make them more or less of a casual because they know how to do the cool thing with the item, but they don't really want to actually farm the content for it? They don't want to wait around for the drop to show up. They just want to quickly pick it up, right? Like, all of these aspects of the game have different levels of commitment to them by player, right? And the true sweatiest players out there, people who are overcommitted in all aspects, but not everybody can do that, right? And if multiple people are claiming casual and the overlap between casual circles gets tinier and tinier, does it mean that the word is fake, or does it mean that people are misusing it? And honestly, it could be both. It could be misused. It could just be that because the game has so much to learn, so much to master in it, it's hard to define one group of people as a casual. Because I would say, for example, that people who only play one weekend, maybe like the extra weekend after that, they're pretty casual players in terms of their time commitment to the game, right? The game itself, playing the game, they play 6 days out of an entire league. That's pretty casual. But then it's like, oh, but they play like 12 hours each of those days. Does that make them casual or not anymore? It's like, I don't know. Some people make time for their hobbies. I don't know if that makes them casual anymore or not, right? Oh, they're high performers. Like we talked about with my friends about the idea that the ladder pushers are people who do that sometimes, where they literally just take the weekend off and go ham, and then they go back to their lives. Does that make them casual or not? Right? They're performing such at such a high level. You want to say they're not casuals, but if they barely play the game, otherwise, like, are they actually casuals? Then you see what I'm getting. Like, it's hard to label people as casuals, right? What do you do if it's a casual person who's like good at making builds, but they're bad at actually playing the game? They never really put a lot of time into learning of the progression and whatnot. Are they casual? I'm not here to answer any of these questions for you, by the way. That's not the point of me being here. It's mostly just to dump all of the thoughts that I've had over years of trying to figure out what I would define as a casual in this game. I can give you my best answer at it, at least the answer that I feel the most comfortable with personally, but even that doesn't really feel like a complete answer. The idea is just that being a casual feels very personal, very personally defined, very relatively defined. There's no absolutism in what makes a casual. I can't run your name across the list of specs and go, yes, that player is a casual. That player is a tryhard. Um, and we use casual and tryhard as if they're two sides of the coin when it could be a spectrum. More casual, less casual, kind of like when you get told to do strongly disagree, strongly agree type quizzes, right? There's so much room in this discussion for misuse of the term, misweaponization of the term, etc., that it makes it hard to discuss well. And that's kind of just why I'm here. So I will give you a part of my thought, right? Because I did say earlier that I thought that the term was not real. And that is one part of the thought. And it's because of this other thing that I just explained a little bit ago. I do not think the term casual is real when it comes to online communities, because I think that in all parts, if you're online and you are actively talking about the game, some part of the definition of casual no longer really applies properly, especially when we talk about devotion or interest in the game. If you only play 10 days out the league, but you spend another month and a half talking about the game, reading up on the game, thinking about the game, interacting with the game, still just not actually opening the game, I don't think you qualify as a casual. Your life's attention span heavily hinges around this game in some way, shape, or form. If you're specialized in build making and never really learned mapping, does not mean that you're a casual. It just means you're just not a good mapper yet. Like, you can be not casual and also bad. And I think that's where my disconnect with this topic always comes from. It feels like the word casual gets used as a reference to skill level rather than what the word actually means. It's not innately a statement of skill level. Sometimes it reflects on skill level, as a lack of experience tends to translate into a lack of performance. But the term casual refers to commitment and engagement, not to performance. And that's why I think that the term is fake, at least in terms of online discourse. But that's enough from me. I want to know what you guys think, right? That's the real point of the video. I just kind of wanted to pose all these questions out there, cast the net, get some thoughts from you all. I can't wait to get told that I'm fucking stupid in the comments, quite frankly, because I know that the idea of saying, oh, there are no casuals, casuals aren't a thing, just sounds like a wild thing to say. But, luckily, if you're here hearing this part, it means you've heard the rest of what I had to say here, and you'll understand where I'm coming from when I say I don't like the term casual as it refers to players and games. So, if you have thoughts about what makes a player a casual, maybe you are a casual, maybe you do define yourself as a casual, like, let me know about that. Like, I just want to know, right? I want to get a feel for where the term casual actually goes. Thank you all for watching. As a note, if you like this video, like these type of videos, liking a video allows me to continue making more of those. Subscribing to the channel so you can see more of what I do here is awesome. I'm occasionally live on Twitch. That's mostly a league start or event centric thing, so don't expect that as like a regularity, but that link is in the description. Much more avidly, I'm in my Discord. I'm active there, very active there. Even if you want to talk to me or anything about any questions, maybe you've seen a previous build of mine or something, you want to ask some questions, that's what my Discord is for. And otherwise, thank you all for watching. Have a great day / night wherever it is. And Let's have some fun. We gotta get back to blasting, y'all. Peace out.